So today is a treat special, smoked sirloin, and it is dry and brine. I have to unpack them, dry brine them, and then pack them again. That's the easiest way. And then they are brining for 4 days, and then I smoke them in a Bowie for 3+ hours. There are 4 or 5 sirloins in a package, but what matters is the weight, and I try to buy packages with the same weight, and that way I know how much curing salt I have to add. The rest of the herbs does not matter that much, the amount versus the weight of the meat, but curing salt is the most important, to have the proper ratio of curing salt to the meat weight. So if I got similar weights of each package, then I can weigh the same amount of curing salt for each package, and it's much easier to handle. I'm going to unpack it. I don't need to clean it because it's going to be brined. Just take excessive moisture, might be a good idea. And yeah, there are 5 in this package, and if there is a excessive fat like that, I'm going to cut it out. And I'm checking if there is any hard stuff like cartilage. And you don't need to take the silver skin because it would brine anyway, but the silver skin creates some kind of the outer layer which helps stay together. If you remove it, then it may crumble. So it is basically the same process for each package. Yeah, I might take some excessive moisture from them. The dry brine would stick anyway, and since it would be compressed in a vacuum bag, it doesn't matter that much. Now I have to wait in the ingredients of the dry brine. Okay, so this is the most important ingredient, curing salt. It's not the one you can find in States, it's a different one. It's a Polish mix of normal salt and curing salt. You need to add 20 grams of this per 1 kilo of meat, and since all the packages were around 2.7 kilos, I have to add 54 grams of this per package. Half the small coffee spoon of ground pepper, but this is hammered pepper, so a coarse one. Then this small spoon of dry thyme, again small coffee spoon of dry rosemary, and the last thing, tablespoon of sugar. Then I have to mix it up, put it on this tray, and then put meat in it and cover it evenly. But first I have to prepare my bags. So I double seal each end of this bag. You can also use Ziploc bags, but they are quite messy and I think more expensive than this. And also if you vacuum seal it, then the brine is pushed into the meat, which I think is a better idea. One more thing is that you have to fold this like that, because then it's easier to seal. You unfold it and seal it and it's not dirty, so the sealing is much better. So the whole process of wrapping up such amount of meat, I guess, takes around 1.5 hours, and this is maximum capacity of the Bowie Prime Plus with 2 shelves. Here is around 16 kilos. So I mix the brine. I spread the brine here, and it's time to get dirty. So you have to cover them. It dissolves quickly, and you may massage also a bit. and generally that have to be cleaned up. And I tested before how long to brine. And generally they brined after 1 day, but it's not that consistent. Sometimes they are not brined truly, so the curing salt is not penetrating the whole piece of meat, especially if this is the bigger one like this one. The only difference might be if you use too much brining or curing salt, then it's getting more salty each day. But generally after 4 days it is ready to be smoked. So now I'm going to pack it. It's better to spread them and keep the nice shape, because then it's easier to put them on the smoker. It's a bit crowded here, but okay. The first is sealed and wrapped, ready to be put into the fridge for next 4 days. Okay, so now repeat. Generally you can get away just with curing salt if you want just to feel the taste of the meat, which is a bit salty and cured, but I really like these herbs. The garlic also might be a good idea, granulated garlic, but not everyone likes garlic. For granulated garlic, it's just half this coffee spoon, or the full coffee spoon if you really like garlic. It is good to establish the, I would say, assembly line, and then you can lean the process and be more efficient. Sometimes you are limited by the space available. They should be covered with the brine. The better the coverage, the better brining. But after 1 day, when they leak, the brine is dissolved, so it doesn't matter that much. But just for the taste purpose, to spread evenly the herbs, it's a good idea to coat them evenly and use all the brine to be on the safe side regarding the curing salt. And now I'm taking them to my secret fridge, which is not in the kitchen. And actually these towels are food safe. They are not bleached with the chemicals which shouldn't touch at least they claim it on the package that this is food safe, so I'm using them. I was even surprised by that, but maybe since there was a fuss regarding white towels that they are not food safe, maybe someone got an idea to produce food safe, or just written on the package that is food safe to boost their sales. So another packed, 6 packs with 5 each, so 30 sirloins, and they are going to be 4 days in the fridge, and every day I have to swap them to different sides to let them brine evenly. So it took around 1 hour and 10 minutes to pack them, and now there is a cleaning for another at least 10 minutes. So after 4 days in the fridge, the meat was rinsed and then pat dry with paper towels, and now it is drying on the hooks. It have to be dried, because if it's not dry then it may become a bit sour, so drying improves the taste after smoking. And you have to hang there for 2 to 3 hours. I'm connecting it and just hit power and it auto starts. So I have put the second shelf, which is kinda modular and do it yourself. And that's it, I'm ready to roll. The problem might be to fit 30 of sirloins here, but we'll see. It depends on the sizes. The ideal amount is 24, then you got plenty of room between them for smoking. 28 is also not that bad, but 30 might be tricky. After half an hour it should be heated to 150 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 66 Celsius, and that's the temperature I'm going to smoke. This is the lowest setting possible. With good planning I was able to put all of them into the smoker, and there is actually room for one more. It looks like that, kinda crowded, but they're not touching each other, which means they would smoke evenly without any pink spots. So closing the lid, I have to connect external thermometer. Probes are in, one probe into the meat on the top shelf, one to the meat on the bottom shelf, and now we wait around 3 hours, 3.5 depends. Actually I have to leave in 3.5 hours, so probably I would wait a little less, and if after 3 hours they do not have 62 degrees of internal temperature, then I would just ramp up the temperature of the grill a bit, speed up the process. At the end, the 3 hours of smoking is plenty enough. Today is quite warm outside, so it would probably take less time to smoke it. I have already removed ones from the bottom shelf because they all got to 67 up to 70 degrees Celsius, but the ones on the top shelf are not there yet, so I have to remove them one by one and measure one by one. I also got my trusty Mavic thermometer, but now I can remove some from the top shelf also. They look like that, and I remove 2 at the time, but probably those which are close enough are ready to go. And basically this gets the fastest because the firebox is just under here, and then this and this, and on top looks like the middle ones are the fastest, and these still are 50 something, so they are not ready yet, unless they are not up to temp. They look nice. So at the end, those from the top shelf are more smoked than the ones from the bottom shelf, but it is what it is. And this is the final product: 30 smoked pork tenderloins. Mahogany outside and really pink inside. Tastes amazing. It is very moist, and you can still feel the taste and smell all the spices and the smoke.